Hello, this is Matthew Miller with the ZDNet Smartphones and Cell Phones blog. Today, you'll see in front of me the HTC Sensation 4G on T-Mobile USA. And this will be launching here shortly, June 12th and 15th. 12th at some Walmarts, 15th at the stores, for the typical $199, after a $50 mail-in rebate kind of thing. So let me just run through the hardware and then I'll show you a little bit of the software. The hardware is a typical 4.3-inch screen device. However, it's Super LCD, and a first, I think, for HTC. This is a 540 by 960 pixels resolution. So it's the QHD resolution display, which I'll show you in a minute. It has a dual-core 1.2 gigahertz processor, 8 megapixel autofocus camera. It has the new Sense 3.0, which we'll run through. It's DLNA, and HDMI. Now the HDMI is out through the micro USB, so you need a special MHL adapter, which I haven't been able to find. I understand the Infuse 4G or one of the other devices has it, but I haven't been able to find that adapter myself yet. 1520 milliampere battery, 4 gigabytes internal storage, only a gig usable. 8 gigabyte card included, micro SD slot, that kind of thing. This is a HSPA plus 1700 megahertz device. I believe it's 14.4 megabits per second, not the 21.1 or the 42.2. Bluetooth 3 and Wi-Fi. So before I turn it on, let's just walk through the hardware. I want to show you a couple things about it. So the bottom has, the capacitive 4 buttons. And I don't know if you can see in the video, but I will show it. I'll try to show it in my pictures. But the screen is beveled at the edges, the glass on the front. I'm not sure if you can kind of see that. I'll kind of rock it back and forth, but there's a bit of a bevel around it, so it's got kind of a cool, slick look on the sides there. Front-facing camera. There's the headset speaker, proximity sensor. Nothing on the bottom. On the left side, we have the micro USB port and then the volume button. Big fan of having the volume button on the left side where I hold my phone more often. Up top, 3.5mm headset jack and the power button, which is small. And nothing on the right side. And then on the back is kind of a cool looking back with a soft touch and then kind of some, I guess it's aluminum shell and then some more soft touch material. And 8 megapixel camera with dual LED flash and this mono speaker. Now, looking at this back, you might think, well, this part slides down or this part slides up to access it. However, it's kind of interesting. I didn't turn it on yet because I wanted to show you this. Now, you push this button on one end. Now, let's see. It's not the easiest to get on and off. So you push the button on one end, and then what you do is you lift it up and out. And what's interesting is the whole, not just the back comes off, it's actually the back and the sides that come off. And if you look over here, we've got, kind of a weird arrangement. There's the battery and the SIM card and micro SD card. So the whole thing comes off, the whole back, and the sides, not just the back of it. What's interesting is I have all these connectors in here, and I don't know if these are all antennas, but there's some gold connectors up there. There's one here, and there's one down there. And then you can see those on the back. You see these open little holes all over the place on the device. So maybe that's just to give you increased antenna signal. I've had great signal so far testing it out, but so maybe that's the deal. Not quite sure. Very nice piece of hardware. Feels very much like a Nexus 1 as far as the size of it and everything goes. Very attractive. Even with a 4.3-inch screen, it really takes advantage of it and doesn't really feel like a big device at all. Quite thin. So let's just start with what we see right here. This is the first look at the first view of what you can see with this new Sense 3.0. Very much like the Flyer, although the Flyer has 2.1 for tablets. So, like the Flyer, you can customize these 4 buttons at the bottom, and then you simply would drag those buttons into these icons into the circle to launch directly into those. Also, what you'll see though is we have weather on here, which the flyer does as well, but you can customize these, and I'll show you these in just a second. Otherwise, you just slide up to unlock. Now, if we go into here and personalize, this is all the 3.0 stuff. So we personalize the lock screen, and so we have the standard just wallpaper. You can have, whoops, you can have photos. So your photo galleries will just kind of go through, toggle through your different photos. You have your friend streams. You can see your Facebook and Twitter feeds coming across the screen. You can actually grab those and drag them through the circle, and that will open up that particular feed. There's the weather, which I have right now. There's stock, and then there's a watch. So there's different, and then you can have different settings for the different shortcuts and the different clocks and things like that, and the different looks that you have. So those are the lock screen customizations, which are pretty cool. And then these, this is different widgets, things like that. Let's see. So what other things included? Go up to the top. Sorry, it's hard to sit back at a different angle. So one thing you'll notice is this is all of the apps. We have my favorite apps or frequent apps, and then we have downloaded apps. You can quickly toggle through all of the apps you might have loaded on your device. And as you can see, I do have quite a few of my own apps. There's flashlight. Just trying to look at. So what you have here is Listen, is Google Listen is what I have for the podcast. There's also HTC Listen. If we tap on this, music station brought to you with HTC. So this is their song client. I haven't found a lot of music in here, and I haven't been able to find who actually powers it, whether it's 7 Digital or who might be powering it. It's not very clear at that. You would create your own HTC Listen account. Very few songs on here. There are some decent priced, I guess. If we go into like rock, there's singles as an option. So there we see here we've got 99 cents for an album. I thought there was some of these albums, it was like $5.99, but as you can see, the selection is really pretty minuscule. And then there's Mirror, which is simply the front-facing camera looking back at you. You can adjust the brightness. Called Mirror, HTC Mirror. So let's see, I loaded up Google Music, which you can get on this device. Polaris Office. Now this is as we can see here, this is a new Word or Excel document that you can create, only up to the 2003. It's not the full. You will want to get a full Office suite, like Documents to Go or Quick Office, rather than this for the newer formats. These are the older formats, and you can read other documents as well, but I would go with something else. Telenav GPS navigator comes on board. T-Mobile TV, Teeter. Let's see, Wi-Fi calling. Now, the thing about Wi-Fi calling, let me just try to clarify this. As of 13 May this year, T-Mobile re-enabled their Wi-Fi calling service to be unlimited minutes. Now, the last several months, it has been, I guess probably last year, it has consumed your plan minutes if you make it. So it has enabled you to use Wi-Fi at home or on the road, but then it would use your plan minutes. As of 13 May, with an even more plus postpaid plan, which is, most people are it's just a typical plan, then you can have unlimited Wi-Fi calling, which can be a big deal if you make a lot of calls. Now, a lot of people have unlimited plans, doesn't matter, but if you do have a measured plan, Wi-Fi calling can be something that you really want to check out. Also, it has the Wi-Fi hotspot, and then we also have HTC Watch, which is their video viewing, rental. I don't want to sign in right now, do I? Have to sign in. Okay, so just a second, I'll sign in just so you can see. Fortunately, you need a different account for listen as you do from watch. They're all different accounts. That password didn't work. Can't remember what it is. I don't use it that often. So you go to their store, new movies, new TV shows. It shows only 15, but if you go to the movie genres, you can see there's actually quite a few movies in here. And I rent them when I'm on the go. So renting the movie for $2.99 to me is a good deal. Like I said before, especially compared to paying $10 to $15 in the hotel for a movie. So that's about it. I mean, it's a very solid device, very solid phone. One that I'm seriously considering. There's also most likely the Galaxy S2 coming down the pike. I'm pretty pleased with Windows Phone 7 on T-Mobile, so I may skip this since I do have an Android phone, the Charge now on Verizon. But if you're a T-Mobile customer who likes Android, this is definitely a phone to consider. Very nice phone, same price as can be expected. I plan to spend more time with it, using the camera and some other things like that. But that's a quick look at the HTC Sensation 4G.